this is Matthew.
And this is Vinny, the wrestling figure historian.
It's time for another wrestling figure review. And today, we got us a woo in good figure. Figure's still gonna make you go woo.
It's the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
That's right, this is from Mattel's Retro series, and it's in the, of course, vintage style retro packaging. And Vinny, again, you being the collector, how does it stack up for you?
Pretty good.
And I'll show you guys the back of the box as well, which has Flair doing his action feature, which this might be the most accurate action feature we've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's doing the chop.
His world famous knife hand chops.
So Vinny, you've seen a lot of other figures that have this type of action feature.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that and tell us how they customized it here for Flair?
Well, here's the thing. When Mattel started doing the clothesline feature, you were only able to twist the body back or forwards. It wasn't like the Hasbro's where you could twist in both directions. With Flair, they gave him twisting towards the front so he could do a proper knife hand chop.
Which is really, really cool and really awesome they actually got the chop. Plus, they changed the hand.
That they did too.
Because normally it's a closed fist because it's a clothesline.
Yeah.
So this is the first time they have an open hand on it.
Yeah, you're right. Because I'm trying to think back. None of the Hasbro's had an open hand.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and open this guy up. I'm just going to tear him out, I think.
Go right ahead.
You want to cut him open and be polite. You want to be polite, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Fine.
Come on, we gotta do it right.
So the funny thing about the Ric Flair figure that came out originally from Hasbro was I thought that was like one of the ugliest figures they ever made.
I don't know. I think that was actually one of the better ones that they made.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to love that one. I didn't really like it that much. I thought it was just kind of, his face was just so crazy looking. The face was okay, but the body, the headlock.
Well, they recycled Rick Rude's body on it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Which I also wasn't necessarily too fond of either.
But then again, Flair was never... Well, actually, they made Flair more ripped than he actually was.
Yeah, Flair was kind of skinny in that toy.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they gave him the headlock action, which was accurate, because that is a thing that Flair does. He does do a headlock and a punch.
That is true. That is true.
But it wasn't like a signature move that, like, you don't come to his matches to see him headlock a guy.
But at the same time, that was when Hasbro was starting to just recycle their bodies and cut cost.
That was like, what, one of the last... wasn't the last one, obviously.
No, that was like in the middle range.
In the middle, okay, yeah.
But that was when they started going with guys that were like complete jobbers. I think in that same series there was like Skinner, Papa Shango. I think Skinner was part of it.
Oh, Skinner figure. Talk about a peg
Berserker, El Matador. Yeah, that was when Hasbro was starting to lose it on terms of who they could actually put in.
And there's our look at Ric Flair out of the box. This is in the baby blue outfit, which is a classic Flair color. I'm surprised they didn't go with like a classic red. I feel like people know his red the most.
True. It's usually the red or the black that he would be known for the most, but this is actually, I think, even looking at the image they used for the packaging, this was based off his NWA WCW days.
Which is, again, interesting, because this is a WWE line.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are a few WCW guys that they snuck in. It's just interesting that they chose this.
Yeah.
And not, let's say, like Flair's WWE run when he was there in the 90s.
In the 90s, or even his more modern run in the early 2000s.
Yeah. This is supposed to be a classic Flair. I guess by the hair, too, you can tell it's definitely going to be a younger looking Flair. But, alright, most important thing now, let's talk about that face. Is this a Ric Flair face?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that definitely looks like Ric Flair to me. Screaming and yelling. I think that's pretty spot on. Flair face.
Yeah.
A Flair face.
Say that again?
Flair face.
Again?
Flair face.
Flair face. Say that 3 times fast.
Flair face. Flair face. Flair face.
Yeah. New tongue twister. Fair place.
So let's check out the action feature. Since, as we mentioned, his body can go both ways. He can go forward and back. He's a little stiff going back.
No, you can't go back. That's what I was mentioning before. The old Hasbro's would allow you to go back and forth. Mattel swapped that out to make it one action. Either it's going to be a clothesline, or now with Flair, it's going to be a chop.
Ah, all right, yeah, because it's kind of funny because you can do this and it looks pretty cool, but can't wind it back or anything, unfortunately, at all. Woo! You want to try the Flair chop?
Yes.
I like how the arm actually does come out when he does it. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Shall we try it on a victim?
Yes.
Let's try it out on Bray Wyatt.
Let's see.
Wow.
That's got some kick to it.
Yeah, that's a nice... And Bray is down for the count.
Yep.
Alright, so, Vinny, ready to catch Bray Wyatt?
There you go.
Yeah, alright. Yeah, the chopping feature is really nice. I do really like that
Yeah.
chop. The outfit is nice. So it doesn't have the Ric Flair on the boot. Normally he had the RF on the boot, so that's missing.
But again, well, actually,
Yeah, I think
no.
the original Hasbro had the RF too.
That's what
on the
I was
boots, so-
about to say. It's fine because it's a retro, but then if Hasbro was able to do it, and actually now I'm looking at it, the boots are a little too low.
Yeah, I mean the boots are not quite there, but what they did do is they put the RF on his tights.
At least, and that's the more important one.
Yeah.
I will admit. And his base does have the RF as well.
Yeah, traditional RF.
Overall, it's a great figure.
Yeah,
It's definitely, if you're into the retro line, it's definitely a pickup.
it's got pretty good attention to detail.
Yeah.
I mean, are there a few nitpicks here and there? Yeah, but it can do
That's
the chop.
Yeah. That's the more important feature, the chop.
Absolutely, yeah, you can
So-
chop. All right, so that's our look at Ric Flair from Mattel's Retro Series. Really cool, and he can chop the crap out of your friends. Woo! It's more of a back elbow though. so
Yeah.
that's fine. We can straight. We'll do it again. It's fine. Woo! It's better. Yeah, we'll do it one more time. Make sure it works. Woo!
This just made your day, didn't it?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm Matthew.
And I'm Vinny.
That's our Ric Flair, and we'll see you guys next time with some more wrestling toy reviews.